Yes students, today we will start chapter number 10. Name of the chapter is straight line. Firstly I will tell you some basics related to this chapter. We will do slope topic in this chapter. What is slope? Slope, suppose any line is given to you. Slope means slant. How much this line is slant. Suppose any line is horizontal to x-axis, or you can say parallel to x-axis, means horizontal line, then slope of that line will be 0. As this line is slanting, then its slope is increases, and as it becomes vertical, or you can say parallel to y-axis, in that case value of slope will be maximum, means it will be infinity, plus infinity. So there are two formulas for finding slope of a line. These two formulas are, suppose any line, 2 points of a line is given to you. One is x1, y1, second point of the line x2, y2. Then by using the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. By using this formula we can find out the slope of a line. Second one, suppose this is Cartesian plane x-axis and y-axis. Suppose any line makes an angle theta with positive direction of x-axis. Then value of slope of this line, it will be slope is equal to, in second case this is equals to tangent theta, and slope is denoted by letter small m. Listen very carefully. In this case angle theta is the angle between line with positive direction of x-axis. Clear? So if you will use this formula, means tangent theta for slope, if angle between line and positive direction of x-axis is given to you. If in place of angle 2 points of a line given to you, in that case we will use the formula y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So these two formulas are there for finding the slope. You will use any one out of these two according to the given statement. Listen again, if angle theta is given to you, you will use this formula for slope, means tangent theta. If 2 points of a line given to you, then you will use this first formula for finding the slope. And in this chapter we will do different forms of a line one by one in all the exercise. But in first exercise we will use this topic slope. So that's why I have explained firstly this topic. And all of you know that what is linear equation. Linear equation in two variables. Suppose any equation is written in this form, then this is known as linear equation in two variables. And all of you know very well that graph of linear equation in two variables, always it is a straight line. Graph for linear equation is a straight line. So now we will start this exercise. Now see question number 1. Exercise 10.1. Question 1. In first sum it's very simple. Draw a quadrilateral in the Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane means x-axis and y-axis. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. And vertex of the quadrilateral given to you minus 4 comma y, first point. Second is 0 comma 7. Third one is 5 comma minus 5, and fourth one is minus 4 comma minus 2. We will plot these 4 points. After that, by joining these points we get a quadrilateral, and then we will find the area of this quadrilateral. So we have to take maximum value of x and y up to 5. So let us suppose this is origin, value of x is 0. This is positive direction of x-axis. This is positive direction of y-axis. All of you know about this. This is negative direction of y-axis. This is negative direction of y-axis. This is negative direction of x-axis. This is negative direction of y-axis. Now first point is minus 4. X is minus 4 and y is 5. Minus 4 and 5. This point. This is the point. Coordinates of this point minus 4 comma 5. Second point is 0 comma 7. X is 0 and y is 7. This point. This is 6. This is 7. Coordinates of this point 0 and 7. Third point, x is 5 and y is minus 5. X 5 and y minus 5. This point, at this point coordinates will be 5 comma minus 5. Fourth point is minus 4 and minus 2. X is minus 4, y is minus 2. This point minus 4 and minus 2. And when you will join these points, this line passes through minus 4. This, then this type of quadrilateral is formed. Now we have to find the area of these quadrilaterals. If you see very carefully, this quadrilateral is combination of one parallelogram plus one triangle. This parallelogram is, let us suppose, region 1. This triangle is suppose region 2. For finding the area of this complete quadrilateral, separately we will find out the area of region 1 and region 2. After that add these two and it gives you area of complete quadrilateral. So firstly, how you will find out area of region 1? This is parallelogram because these two lines are parallel, and all of you know that area of parallelogram is half into h into sum of its parallel sides. Parallel sides means b1 plus b2. Now see what is height of this parallelogram. This is height of this parallelogram, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units, means h is equal to 4. You will not take negative minus 4 because height is a length and length is always positive. Now sum of its parallel sides, length of its parallel side. So what is the length of this line? This is 5 plus 2, 7, plus this parallel side, another parallel sides, this is 7 units, plus 3 units, 10 units, and 10 plus 7, 17. 17 into 2, it becomes 34 square units. This is the area of region 1. Now area of region 2. Region 2 is a triangle, and all of you know that area of a triangle is half into base into height. Now what is base and height? This is the base. Base is 7 plus 3, 10, and height of this parallelogram is 5. Now area will be 5 into 5, 25 square units, and 25 plus 34, it gives you 59 square units is the area of this complete quadrilateral. So this is question number 1. I hope all of you understood this question. We have used two previous class formulas. Already you have done the formula of area of parallelogram and area of triangle in lower classes. And all of you know very well how you can plot a point on the Cartesian plane. This is also old topic. This you have done in previous class. Now see question number 2. In second question, the base of an equilateral triangle with side 2a lies along the y-axis such that the midpoint of the base is at the origin. Let us suppose this is origin, this is y-axis, and we have a equilateral triangle, and base of this equilateral triangle is 2a such that midpoint of base is at origin, means this length is a and this is also a plus a, it becomes 2a. At this point value of y is minus a, at this point value of y is plus a, or you can say coordinates of this point will be 0 comma a, and at this point coordinates will be 0 comma minus a. Now find the midpoint of the base at the origin, find the vertices of the triangle. Now if you want to complete this triangle by taking this side as base, equilateral triangle you have to form. You can form in both direction, in positive direction of x-axis. This is equilateral triangle A, B, C. This is equilateral, that's why side of other two sides of the triangle also will be 2a. All the sides are equal. And you can form triangle in this direction also, in negative direction of x-axis. This is AC, D, means two types of triangles are there. One is ABC, another triangle will be AC, D. We have to find the coordinates in both cases. 2 vertex already we have find out. Coordinates of A vertex 0 comma A, and this is 0 comma minus A. Now we have to find B and D. Some students take this side 2A and they write coordinates of point B at 2A comma 0. It becomes wrong. Now see how you will find out value of this distance OB. This OB distance is equal to DO. If you have find out coordinates of B, then taking negative value of X very easily you can find out point D also. Now see how you will find out this coordinate. This is the height of equilateral triangle. This small triangle is right angle triangle, and by using Pythagoras theorem, let us suppose this height is x, then x square plus a square, this is equal to hypotenuse square means 2a whole square. So by using this formula, 2a square means 4a square minus a square, it becomes 3a square, and when square comes on this side it becomes root, means root 3a. This is the value of x. And if this distance is root 3a, then coordinates of point will be root 3a comma 0. So this is the coordinates of point B. Similarly, taking negative sign means minus root 3a comma 0. This is the value of point D. So these are the vertex of the required triangles. This is question number 2. Now I will explain question number 3. In third question, find the distance between points P and Q. 2 points given to you. One is point P and second is point Q. Coordinates of point P and Q given to you, x1, y1 and x2, y2. Now find the distance between point P and Q if PQ is parallel to y-axis and PQ is parallel to x-axis. In first case, if PQ is parallel to x-axis. In second case, if PQ line is parallel to x-axis. Let us suppose first case. In first case, this PQ line is suppose parallel to x-axis. We are doing this part first. This is x-axis. If PQ line is parallel to x-axis, in case of parallel to x-axis, value of y1 and y2 will be same. In this case, y1 is equal to y2, and all of you know distance formula. PQ is equal to x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square, or you can say x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Both will gives you same value. Now if y1 is equal to y2, then this part becomes 0, and x1 minus x2 whole square, then root square is cancelled with root, then PQ will be x1 minus x2, or you can say this x2 is greater, value of x2 is more, that's why you can take x2 minus x1. Here also you can write down x2 minus x1. Now in case of parallel to y-axis, if this PQ line is parallel to y-axis, suppose this is P and this is Q, in that case this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. In this case, value of x1 and x2, it will be same. If x1 and x2 is the same, then this first part will be 0, then this second part will gives you value of distance. In that case, value of distance means this length of PQ line, it will be y2 minus y1. So this is question number 3. In this sum we have used distance formula, which already you have done in 10th class. This is also not new, already you have done this in 10th class. Now see question number 4. In question number 4, find a point on the x-axis which is equidistant from the points 7, 6 and 3, 4. 2 points given to you, coordinates of this point 7, 6, 3, 4, and take one more point which is equidistant from these 2 points, means these distances are equal. Then what will be the coordinates of this point if this point lies on the x-axis? If this point lies on x-axis, and all of you know that on x-axis value of y is 0. So let us suppose coordinates of this point x comma 0. If coordinate of this point x comma 0, so we have to find out only value of x. After finding x, we can find out this complete coordinates. So here also we will use distance formula. Let us suppose these points are as a, b, c. Now according to statement, AB is equal to AC. If AB square is also will be equal to AC square. So x minus 7 whole square plus 6 square root, sorry, no need to take root because we have taken here square. This is equal to x minus 3 whole square plus 4 square. Now simple calculation work is there. Just after simplifying it, you will get the value of x, and putting the value of x, you will get the required point. This type of sum also you have done in 10th class. So this is question number 4. Now see 5th question. In 5th question we will use this slope topic in this 5th question. Again I am telling you, formula for slope of a line is, slope is denoted by m. Formula for slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, or second formula for slope is tangent theta. We will use any one formula out of these two according to the given information in the statement. Now see question number 5. Find the slope of a line which passes through the origin, means one point of the line is origin, passes through the origin and the midpoint of the line segment joining the point P and B. Let us suppose this is point P, this is B, and coordinates of point P 0, -4 and coordinates of point B 8, 0. Then this point passes through midpoint of line PB, means we have to find out midpoint of this line. So all of you know midpoint formula also. 0 plus 8 divided by 2 means 4. Minus 4 plus 0 divided by 2 minus 2. So these are the coordinates of midpoint of line PB. Let us suppose this is point A and this is point C. Now we have to find out slope of this line. Now we know 2 points of this line. So by using this first one formula, we will find out the value of slope. So m is equal to y2 minus y1. Minus 2 minus 0, it becomes minus 2 divided by x2 minus x1, 4. So slope will be minus 1 by 2. Slope, it may be negative, it may be positive, it may be 0, it may be up to infinity. So this is the value of slope. So this is question number 5. Next, in question number 6. Now see, I want to tell you one more result related to slope. If two lines parallel to each other, in that case slope will be same. Means if m1 is the slope of first line, m2 is the slope of second line. If these two lines are parallel, then m1 is equal to m2. Means always the slope of parallel lines will be same. And in case of two perpendicular lines, suppose m1 is the slope of first line, m2 is the slope of second line. In case of perpendicular line, product of slope of these two lines, it will be -1. Or you can say, if two lines are perpendicular, if you know the value of slope of one line, suppose 1 by 2, then by taking negative and reciprocal of this value, it gives you slope of another line. Means negative and reciprocal of 1 by 2 is -2. So slope of second line will be -2. Suppose the slope of first line is 3 by 4, then slope of second line will be -4 by 3. If slope of first line is 2, then slope of second line will be -1 by 2. So in this way, this you can use negative and reciprocal only in case of perpendicular lines. If two lines are perpendicular, you know the slope of any one line, then by taking negative and reciprocal, you can find out slope of another line. Or suppose slopes of two lines given to you, if you want to check whether these two lines are perpendicular or not, then you can take product of slopes of these two lines. If value of product of its slope, this is equals to -1, in that case lines will be parallel. So we will use this concept in next question, question number 6. In question number 6, by using without using Pythagoras theorem, show that 3 points given to you. Point A 4, 4, we will draw a triangle, roughly triangle. B point is 3, 5 and point C is -1, -1. Now we want to check whether these are the vertices of a right angle triangle or not. Or you can say we want to check ABC is right angle triangle or not. So firstly we will find out slopes of these three lines. Then we will take product of any two lines. If product of any two lines, this is equals to -1, in that case these two lines will be perpendicular and this triangle will be right angle triangle. So one by one we will find the slope of all the lines. Slope of this line will be y2 minus y1, means 4 minus -1, it becomes 5, divided by 4 minus -1, again 5. So slope is 1. Here y2 minus y1, 4 minus 5 -1, divided by 4 minus 3, 1, slope is -1. If you no need to find out slope of this, because here if you see product of these two values 1 and -1, it will be -1. If product is -1, it means these two lines are perpendicular. These two lines are perpendicular means this angle is 90 degree, or you can say this complete triangle is right angle triangle. So this is question number 6. Now see next question, last question of this video. Question number 7. what is given to you? Find the slope of the line which makes an angle 30 degree with the positive direction of y-axis measured anti-clockwise. Now see here, angle of any line with positive direction of y-axis measured in anti-clockwise. This is clockwise direction, this direction is anti-clockwise, and this angle is given to you 30 degree, and we have to find out the slope of this line. Now in case of angle, we will use this formula for slope, m is equal to tangent theta. But all of you know that what is angle theta here? Theta is the angle of line with positive direction of x-axis. But in this case, angle of this line with y-axis is given to you. So firstly we will find out angle of this line with positive direction of y-axis, means this is positive direction of y-axis, this is line, so required angle is this angle. We will find out this angle firstly. So now see here very carefully, these two lines are intersecting lines, these two angles will be vertically opposite angles. This is 30 degree angle, so this angle will be 30, this angle is 90 degree, and if in any triangle you know two angles, then you can find out third angle by angle sum property. So 90 plus 30 120, and 180 minus 120 it gives you 60 degree. So angle of line with positive direction of x-axis, it will be 60 degree. So value of slope will be tangent 60. If you are taking tangent 30, then it becomes wrong. You will take angle of line with positive direction of x-axis. So angle theta is here 60 degree, and value of slope will be tangent 60, and all of you know that what is value of tangent 60? Root 3. So slope is root 3. So thank you. I hope all of you understood up to this sum. So in homework you will do this exercise up to question number 7.